Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. So is the Dyson V16 Piston Animal Cordless Vacuum Cleaner Just a Dad approved? It absolutely is. This thing is a beast. Now, it comes with a pretty steep price tag. It retails for almost $1,000. Now, is it worth it? Yes, if you have a large home that's extremely dirty and it's got lots of attachments, which I'm going to show you. But the best way to show you is we're going to clean up a big mess on hardwood floor and on carpet. Now, if you want to find the best cordless vacuum cleaners, best robot vacuum cleaners, check out my website, justadadapproved.com. This is the home of the honest review. I do purchase these products with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video, but I do use links. If you purchase this product off of a link off of my website or the video, the product's not going to cost you anymore, but I do earn a small commission from the sale. So probably the number one reason you would buy this is for battery length. This has an extremely large battery, and it did my entire home, over 2,000 foot square home, had no problem doing the entire home with that battery. Now it is a trade-off. It's a little bit heavy, but pushing it on carpet's a little heavy. Now it does have 3 modes of operation. We're going to do auto mode. It's going to increase the suction power as it senses that there's more dirt on the floor. So turn it on. Now it's not super hard to push on hardwood floor. It's just a little on the heavy side, but not too bad. You got to like this type of grip though. My wife doesn't like that. So it switched thinking it was on carpet there for a minute. Now it does only clean going forward. You can see what it's picking up. Because that green light should be on right now because it's on hardwood floor. Kitty litter. Dysons have a hard time with kitty litter sometimes. It was not able to get all that kitty litter. Back on. So see, I want to talk about this. That green light went off because it thought it was on carpet. That is sort of a shortcoming of this cordless vacuum cleaner, is the sensor that determines if it's on hardwood floors or carpet. It must be like suction based because there's not an actual sensor on the bottom. I prefer like a Shark vacuum. These actually have sensors that sense, like see that little white thing? That's a sensor that tells you, it must be shooting a signal down that tells you when it's on hardwood floors or carpet. And the transition is seamless with those. Let's turn it on, I'll show you. Carpet, hardwood floor. Carpet. This is actually a really good cordless vacuum cleaner. Comes with an auto empty dock. Back to the Dyson. So that big mess, it thought it was on carpet. Now, to be fair, that's not the head you're supposed to use for hardwood floor. I don't always like changing the heads on it, but let's try it out. This is the head for hardwood floors. Back in auto mode. And now that's super lightweight. Wow. Much better job. Let's try the much better job with kitty litter. So I do recommend, if you have a bunch of hardwood floors, to change the vacuum head on it. That one is designed. Now there's this little scraper. So as you're going through your home, there's a screen on here and you can clean that screen off and compact it. It's not going to auto empty. Just push this down and you'll see. Well, I got a bunch of debris over here. Normally it's just hair. It's like a hair compactor, but I'm picking up so much debris, it's not able to compact it. But when you've got a bunch of dog hair, it'll compact it down real small and clean those screens off so that you have continuous suction. And no hair wrap on this hardwood floor cleaner. This is the one we'll be using for carpet now. We're going to put it back on. Big mess on carpet. Okay. Big mess on carpet. Kitty litter on carpet. Now it did struggle with a little bit of that hair, but not too bad. That was just some dirt, and we got a hair wrap, a clump. You can hear that suction going up and down. That helps save battery life, but you can just go right to boost. I got 5 minutes left on boost. Now, when you got it on boost, it's a little harder to push because it's really sucking into that carpet. So you're gonna get a workout if you're on boost. But I do feel like my carpets are really, really clean. Wow. Wow. Now it's time to auto empty. Take the dustbin or take the wand off, and you're going to use the other part here. And that's going to open the lid. Whoops, in a trash can, it'll be a lot easier. Then you're going to move this scraper down. That cleans those screens off. See? And you've got to make sure that you put this back and it clicks. If you leave it, it won't work. It'll tell you. Those screens are what's getting cleaned by this. That helps maintain your airflow. Built-in crevice tool is amazing. Now let's try the anti-tangle attachment for dog beds. May want to go to boost. Dog beds are hard to do. That's doing a better job. It's still leaving some dog hair on there. It's not getting it all off. Going forward's a little bit of a challenge. But there's everything it pulled out of it. Wow. Wow. And we did get a few hair wraps on it. I was kind of surprised. All right, let's take that off. Ooh, and some hair didn't get sucked up in. Interesting. So let's compact it, empty it. So not perfect by any means. So not perfect in my extreme testing, but I'm going to show you a video now of taking it to my home. I absolutely loved it at my home. You know, at home you don't necessarily always have the big extremes like we did here, but at home, everyday cleaning, it just did an amazing job. I was able to vacuum my entire home. Again, you've got to kind of like this style. You know, this is, again, my wife does not like this style, even though this is a really good vacuum. She doesn't like using it just because of this kind of grip. Now, you don't have to push a button or anything. Now, it kind of varies. You can see this one's a little different. The weight's kind of on the front side of your hand instead of right there at your... So if you kind of... This is a really good one. It does a good job. The Shark Speed, they call it. Power Detect Speed. So you can get a really nice Shark cordless vacuum cleaner that does almost as good a job for about half the price sometimes. So, but if you love Dyson products, you're not going to be disappointed. That's a really, really good cordless vacuum cleaner for everyday cleaning, huge battery life, lots of nice features. So again, check out the website, justadadapproved.com. I appreciate everybody for watching. If you could, please like, subscribe, and an unboxing on the Dyson V16 Piston Animal Cordless Vacuum Cleaner. Here's everything that comes in the box. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put it all together. I'll go over dimensions. We'll take it apart. I'll show you how to clean it, and we'll show you how it works. So here's everything that comes. You get the power head here down. You get the wand. Here's the actual vacuum. You get this little anti-tangle screw, another cleaning head. This is for hardwood floors, a wall mount, and here we have the cable for charging it. Now the battery is removable, but you can charge it just like this or through the dock. Okay, here's the actual vacuum part. Now down back here, you've got two buttons. This is the power button and this is the mode button. So you're going to turn it on and you got max, auto, and eco. So let's turn it on. Boost, eco, and auto, and then turn it back off. There's no trigger to press or anything. It's going to run until you turn it off. We do have a HEPA filter right here. Take it off. This is washable, but you got to let it dry in the sun. Put it back on. Now, you're going to empty out this dustbin. It's a little different. This is called the compactor. So that's going to scrape the screens, but also compact everything. You can do that just to kind of keep it running for a while. But when you eventually have to empty it, you're going to take it, open it with this lever, and then push everything out. So let's do that again. Open the lever with this, and then push everything out with that. And then you simply just got to close that. Now we can take this apart, so open it up, push these, there's a tab on each side. Push that, this is for cleaning. And then this will come off. You can see there's the design. There's the scraper. There's screens here. There's a U-shaped screen down here it's going to clean. I don't think we can take this off, the red part. And you don't want to get any kind of water into the vacuum at all. So this would just be some mild scrape, mild dusting, blowing it off. This now you can wash. There's I keep hearing there's a flapper. So let's put it back on. There's a track here. So you're going to put the track right here. And you should click it into place. Very nice design. Has a built-in crevice tool. That's very, very nice. Let's measure the overall. This is 17 inches or 44 centimeters. Height looks like about 11 inches or 17 centimeters that way. Now for stair cleaning, you can connect this right to the power head. And you're going to turn it on. Okay, I just learned something. If you don't have the dust compactor all the way back, it won't let you start it. So I thought I had it all the way back, but it clicks. So that's not good enough. It has to be clicked. Now I can, for cleaning stairs. Now when you're in auto, it's going to do two things. This power head can sense floor type. So when you're on hard surface, it's not going to spin the brush rollers as fast. When you're on carpet, it spins those faster. It also does a second thing. It's going to detect the dirt coming in. And if there's a bunch of dirt being picked up off the floor, it's going to ramp up suction. That's in auto mode. That helps extend battery. So if your floor is really clean, it's kind of running at a lower speed to help extend the battery life. Let's take a look at these two cones. This is for hard floor and carpet. Now you do get this. This is strictly just for hard floor. It's kind of like I call it kind of like a polisher, but it's strictly just for hardwood floor vacuuming. This one can do both. Overall, 9 1/4 inches or 25 centimeters. Front to back's about 5 or 13. Does have a really powerful LED light there. Now this lever here is for letting air in. So if you have really thick carpet, you're going to want to put it over here to thicker carpet. That opens those up to let more air in. So it's not as hard to push. All right, let's take the cones out. There's a lever here. We're going to lift that lever up on both sides. Okay, don't break it. It's kind of fragile. Kind of tilt it out of the place. Looks like we got some brushes here. Here is the actual cones. Yes, they do come off. Wow, very intricate. Red goes to red. And it's got like a screw drive, so you're going to put it on, kind of screw it in. There. This one, they just kind of turn off. I don't see any real comb or anything. Oh, they're conical. So the long hairs are not going to wrap around it. This is floating on this end. They're going to wrap around and then be directed to the end where they get sucked in. That's how that works, yeah. This is pretty nice. Some brushes. So let's put it back on. Yeah, you're gonna put the front in. It just kind of goes on and then clicks onto place around that light and back here. This is for wheels and everything. Again, this is for hardwood floors. It's got a really powerful green light also. And then this one, I like it comes apart. Lift this lever up and then you can take this out. You can wash these. Same with those cones. You can wash those. You just have to let them dry in the sun. You don't want to get any water though on the motor. Same with the motors down here. No water on the motors, but you can wash. These things get extremely dirty. All right, let's put it back. Kind of rotate it and then there. You have to kind of go in at an angle, then rotate it down. Locked into place. This cleaning area is about 8 3/4 overall, 10 or 25 centimeters. I like to call this like the pet hair attachment. You can put it on the end of the wand, but it's powered. It's got a motor that's going to drive that conical shape, and again, the long hairs will not wrap around. They'll be directed to the end where they get sucked up in. This comes apart. It's a little tricky. It does have this like floating head, but you're going to lift this lever up and then it separates. You'll see where the separation is. Yeah, you just kind of, I can take this off. I can clean this. Wow. Again, there's a motor in here. Don't get any of this wet. Looks like I could clean this, but make sure you let all of this dry really good. Let's put it back on, kind of put it on. This is where the tricky part, line it up. There's a track that has to go into, and then you get it close, and then as you bring that down, that's going to lock it into place. Wall mount's a little different. You're going to mount, I didn't see any screws, but you're going to mount this to the wall, then it clicks into place. There's where the charging cable comes through. Now they put this on tape because this is loose. The older ones, that was kind of hinged. So that's where you're gonna run the charging cable up through there. There's a little track for it to go into. You're gonna put it through here. Then it's gonna, but first, a little tricky. There's a little spot for it to sit, like a little cup. I don't know if you can see that cup or not, but there's a cup for this part to sit in. So it's gonna sit in that cup at an angle. Then you're going to take this is going to clip on, it's going to snap into place and hold it. There. Not too bad, that way it sticks up like that. Once you've got that, now you can kind of take the cord, put it in there like that. I would even put it like, there's a little, that's to keep it from being pulled out. And then when I click this down into place, it'll be up against the wall. Cable is 6 feet long. I'll measure this. You know, overall 11 inches, 28 centimeters left to right. You know, you're looking at about 4.5 or 12 centimeters. Sticks out from the wall about roughly 3 inches or 18 centimeters. And again, your tools, they click into place. That's nice. One of the coolest things I probably should have led with is this wand. Now it's got a built-in crevice tool also, but one of the coolest things about it is it clicks on, that's to release it here. It's got this new release, this is for down there. So if when I've got this on, I don't have to bend, I can just, that's pressing that button for me to release it. It'll make more sense when I show you, but that's the neatest feature. I don't have to bend down. Everything snaps on relatively easy. There's not a lot of friction. I don't need a lot of strength to do all of this. It feels like it's very well designed and thought out. Now to the wheel, which would be the floor, to the handle, about 42, overall 44 inches or 113 centimeters. Now Dysons do lie flat. They do it a little different. You can rotate the handle. You get a maximum reach of about 51 inches or 130 centimeters. Now the best place to go to find these robot vacuum cleaner picks is justadadapproved.com. Up here in the top header, you're going to see best overall vacuums, best for pet hair, best under 1,000, best under 500, and best under 300. Let's check best overall. I don't give you 20 picks. I give you 5 of my top robot vacuum cleaners with the score, but I have all the information to back it up. If you want to read the full review, why did I pick the Mova V50? Let's go see the full review. You can see the videos that I have right here to back it up. I have my 3-month real-world score test, my real-world testing results, cost to own, my robot specs that I think are important to robot vacuum cleaners, some quick buy it if, skip if, and then a simple review. Thanks everybody for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe button. Also check out where you can find all my approved products on my website, justadadapproved.com. You'll see a little link to it here at the end of the video. If you click on that, that's going to take you right to my website.